debris risk. At the same time, I think we should have acted earlier if our suspicions were valid that this was, in fact, on an intelligence mission.
Think about that. If we thought China was on an intelligence mission, flying over our most sensitive, we're supposed to take the thing down.
I agree with that.
I bet he does agree with that. That's his former defense secretary. That is Leon Panetta, who served as defense secretary under Barack Obama.
I was supposed to make a left turn.
In fact, the vice president.
Right there.
Happening, but it did. Biden's explanation was, well, I told them to shoot it down last Wednesday. But they You're the commander-in-chief. You're in charge. It's your call. Okay, if they talked you out of it, that makes you look even weaker on stage than you already do. And that's just not Jimmy Fallon talking. Here's your former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, not admitting to America Reports, Biden is not the commander-in-chief. It's clip no.
I mean, we have no idea what the Chinese are doing, and it was a huge risk to allow it. But there's an internal question here. When the military learned about it, apparently a 3 or 4 day period where they don't tell the president. When the president learns about it, he says, shoot it down. The military says, you know, you're not really the commander-in-chief. You're kind of a suggester-in-chief, and we're not going to do it. And so if you believe the White House, the president on Wednesday ordered it to down, and the American military just ignored him. That's pretty extraordinary if true.
So that's a former Republican Speaker of the House, as well as a former Democratic Defense Secretary, saying to Joe Biden,
you have no idea how to defend a nation.
And he has no idea how to pick a press secretary. Here is Karine Jean-Pierre, trotted out to the podium yesterday to tell us, nah, this wasn't a big deal. Would you guys calm down? Clip 5.
At the same time, we protected against Chinese intelligence collection because we knew exactly where the balloon was going. The military recommended taking the balloon down over water, following the determination by military commanders that there was undue risk of debris causing harm to civilians while the balloon was over land in Alaska, Canada, or the continental United States.
I mean, think about that. So the military says, you know, can't shoot it down over land. I mean, come on, Montana, Alaska, hello. Folks, they're the most sparsely populated areas in our country. This idea that you couldn't shoot it down there, this idea that they couldn't shoot it down in the ocean, has led a lot of people to believe that they only shot it down because the American public heard about it. Okay, Biden was asked about this yesterday. Here it is, clip 2.
You've known about the balloon program for some time. Has it always been your view to shoot down a Chinese spy balloon, or was it only because it became
way too close?
No, it was always my position. Once it came over into the United States from Canada, I told the Defense Department wanted to shoot it down as soon as it was appropriate. They concluded we should not shoot it down over land. It was not a serious threat. We should wait till we got across the water.
You're not telling me the truth.
Okay, here's what you need to understand about this. According to Biden's claim, okay, last Wednesday, they found out about it on the 28th. They told him not to shoot it down, okay? But he did not ultimately act because this became political. That was the question, okay? You've known about the balloon for some time, okay? Has it always been your view to shoot down the balloon, or was it only because it became public? Now, why is that significant? Because Biden wants you to believe politics didn't play. But understand, okay, Biden, his administration, they never at any point disclosed to the public they knew this balloon was here. Which means they very much were concerned about the public perception. We only know about this balloon. Why? Because people with iPhones took pictures of it in Montana. So when Joe Biden says, oh, no, no.
A bald-faced liar. Lie.
Okay, that thing would still be flying over the country right now if he didn't catch the blowback that he did to shoot it down. If he didn't catch the blowback that he did over the fact that it was even here in the first place. So what did they do after he caught all kinds of heat They said, no, this was the right thing to do. It from the public because, Secretary of State Blinken was supposed to be over in China today meeting with his Chinese counterpart. They didn't want to upset that apple cart. So we were just going to forget that this balloon was flying all over the country at our most sensitive to keep it from the public. Understand, there was no intent of telling us. Okay, this became a story. Biden flat out says, well, I became aware of it on Wednesday and I wanted to shoot it down. Anything to the American people. Okay, the administration didn't brief the Senate. They didn't brief like the Armed Services Committee. They didn't brief the Intel Committee. Nobody was briefed on this. Okay, which means they were trying to keep it a secret. And understand, if it wasn't for citizen journalists spotting this on their phones, we wouldn't even be talking about a balloon that they themselves were aware of had made it over our country. So you understand, when Biden says, oh no, you don't understand, it's not politics, Biden is full of every damn time, man. And what did they do to run a counter-narrative to this? They were like, well, Trump did it too. You got to understand, is also Trump had the same problem.
Wrong.
No, they didn't. They floated an anonymously sourced report from the Department of Defense claiming Trump let balloons fly over the country. And then they had to backpedal because nobody in the Trump administration had ever been briefed on such a thing happening. They themselves knew they had no record of briefing the Trump administration on anything like this ever happening. So they were then faced with the reality of either looking like they were lying to Trump as the President of the United States, or they were flat out lying to the American people. Either way, if you're a part of that lying in Washington, D.C., okay,
this could be a problem.
Huge problem, okay? But they were full of it. Karine Jean-Pierre was asked about this narrative, because the narrative shifted. It went from, well, there were balloons here when Trump was the president. You understand, we had this balloon thing too. And then what did they say? Well, all right, wasn't quite the same as flying all over the country. And, as it turns out, we didn't tell Trump. We found out the were here after he left office.
Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
We are all stocked up here, but Karine Jean-Pierre still attempted to sell that crazy yesterday. Here it is, clip 6.
How is it possible that this administration discovered at least 3 previous balloons that over the U.S. under the previous administration, but Trump officials didn't know it was happening?
Yeah, so look, I think that, and we've talked about this before, about how of this administration's, but never for this duration of time, as we know. This information was discovered to the administration left, but the intelligence community, as I said, is prepared to give briefings to key officials. But this is something, post. So this is something that they were not aware of, as we've just laid out.
You don't have a clue.
So they're trying to deflect from Joe Biden knowingly letting a Chinese spy balloon hover over our most sensitive nuclear facilities, and then upon being discovered, fly southeast all the way over South Carolina and other military facilities before ultimately getting shot down in a heap of public pressure. And they want you to believe, well, more importantly, this happened during the Trump administration. They just weren't aware of it.
That is a lie.
I mean, who the hell? But the point that they're reaching for the Trump card in this moment tells you everything you need to know about Joe Biden.
Oh, Lordy Lord, he's desperate.
Okay, and understand. Okay, here is John Ratcliffe, your former director of national intelligence, the director of national intelligence, the guy under Trump who would be the one to know this was going on. Here is his take on this story, clip 14.
It's not true. I can refute it. Former Secretary of Defense Mark Esper refuted it yesterday. Former Secretary of State and CIA Director Mike Pompeo has refuted it. But Maria, the American people can refute it for themselves. Do you remember during the Trump administration when photographers on the ground and commercial airline pilots were talking about spy balloon over the United States that people could look up and see even with the naked eye, and that a media that hated Donald Trump wasn't reporting. I don't remember that either because it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. But you understand, this is the biggest problem for Biden. It's the biggest problem for America. And I don't like, it's really, he's on the show every day. You have to get it by now, okay? My rooting interest is in the country. It's not in any particular party. I don't know any particular politician. My loyalty, who I root for. Maybe I don't like them on a policy basis. Like, I don't want any of Joe Biden's crazy, stupid, progressive, left-wing climate stuff. I'm not a big fan of all this radical gender ideology, but it doesn't mean I want the country to fail, because I live here. You understand? And as he goes, we go. As the country goes, we go. I mean, it's the biggest rallying cry of this show. Is that, yes, a lot of us disagree politically, but we're supposed to be teammates. You know, we don't have to agree with everything everybody says, but we all live in the same country. That's the whole point. E pluribus unum, out of many one. So I don't get on the air to just like slander a Democrat just because. Believe me, if the Republicans win the elections, they're going to catch holy hell. How much hell have I caught from listeners when I didn't agree with Trump on something, or certainly Kevin McCarthy when we were going through the nominating process? I wasn't a fan of just handing it to the guy who raised the most money. You know, I'm not a fan of that, but sadly, that is how Washington, D.C. works.
Money, 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 money.
But I'm still going to call it out. But when it comes to Biden and the ineptitude we're seeing here, the cost we're paying is not money. It really is our credibility. It really is, you know, the whole through strength mantra. You demonstrate American strength on the world stage so we don't have to demonstrate it on a local level. I'm talking about wars. The whole point of strength is to use it as a deterrence. You don't want to mess with this guy, so let's go about it a different way. We just let a spy balloon from our biggest geopolitical foe fly right down Broadway over our most sensitive nuclear facilities. And they weren't even going to tell us it was a thing until people captured it on their iPhone. Is that demonstrating strength on stage for all to see?
The answer would be no.
No, that's the sad reality. The weaker you look, the closer you become going to war.
You're absolutely right. He's the most talented man on the radio, but he needs your help.
We all know somewhere underneath all of that bright color, there's a man who's not right.
This is Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon.
Tess here. I've always had problems sleeping, and once I fall asleep, I couldn't stay asleep. I searched getting to sleep ASAP. So check this out. Sleep ASAP is a real product by NutriStrips. It's not a pill or drug. It's this amazing little thin strip you put right on your tongue, and it activates immediately. Tastes great too. Best night's sleep ever.
Go to mysleepasap.com and discover how you can try a free. That's mysleepasap.com.
Do you experience pain, burning, numbness, or tingling in your hands, legs, or feet? Are you worried your balance may lead to a seriously damaging fall? Danville Neuropathy Center has a proven, exciting treatment for peripheral neuropathy that repairs and regrows damaged nerves. It's FDA cleared and of its success, Medicare and most major insurances cover the treatment. Don't risk your health any longer. Call 925-270-1460. Schedule an appointment or visit DanvilleNeuropathyCenter.com. That's 925-270-1460. We are a COVID-compliant facility.
The simplest healthy habit to start this new year is one for your dog. Every day, more and more vets are quitting the kibble, kicking the cans, and feeding their dogs dog food that's actually, well, food. The Farmer's Dog Food, helped with vets, made fresh from real meat and veggies, and delivered right to your door. Get 50% off your first box of smarter, healthier .com/fresh start. That's thefarmersdog.com/fresh start.
Fremont Bank. If there's one thing we understand more than anybody, it takes a local bank to really get the needs of local businesses. Fremont Bank has the flexibility and motivation to service your business loan needs like other banks can't or won't. With our full suite of business loan products and recognition as a top SBA lender in the Bay Area, Fremont Bank is the right choice for local and family-owned businesses. Fremont Bank. Learn more at fremontbank.com. Member FDIC. Passing lender.
Toyota
bathrooms. Hi, this is Pete from Repipe Specialists. Many people don't realize they're all symptoms of corroded pipes, and these issues will only get worse. Call Repipe Specialists. We've been seamlessly and expertly solving these problems for over 30 years. With our proprietary process, we'll repipe your entire home in just 1 to 2 days. Call us by Saturday at 844-737-4736 to save 20% on your entire job. Get 0% interest for a year on approved credit. That's 844-737-4736. Repipe.com.
The Royal Flush. It's the ultimate lucky draw. And at River Rock Casino, it will happen with the Luck of the Draw Royal Flush $125,000 giveaway. We've tripled your chance of winning with 3 giveaway days. Our first drawing is Saturday, March 18th. At 9 p.m. and 10, 5 lucky club members will play the Royal Flush game, and 1 will win $10,000. Join the club and start earning drawing tickets. Details at riverrockcasino.com. River Rock Casino, just over Santa Rosa.
Looking for affordable, reliable auto insurance? Freeway has you covered. Freeway has great low rates for auto insurance as low as 99 cents a day. Overpriced rates and start saving today. Freeway has hundreds of options to choose from. Let Freeway help you find the coverage that fits your needs. Freeway is available online, by phone, or in person. With rates as low as 99 cents a day, you could save hundreds a year. Tap the link or go to freewayinsurance.com for a fast, free quote. Freeway, driving savings. Some restrictions and fees may apply. Quoted price for liability premium only.
America with Jimmy Thaler. We got a lot going on today. Harris Faulkner is coming by an hour from now, and she couldn't be more excited to be here.
That is offensive, and it is not true.
Whatever, we got her to show up anyway. And Jim Jordan is going to be here as well, but in the next hour, we're going to have a grown-up talk about Kamala Harris, because dig this, the New York Times, the people who told us, she'd be the greatest vice president ever, are now running op-eds about Kamala Harris, essentially saying,
Get her out! Get her out of here!
Talk in Democrat circles is that the party is looking to move on from Kamala. And you know the way this works. Whenever the party has an idea, they leak it to the press first to see what people think of it. And do you remember when the administration was going to start a misinformation committee? And then everyone looked at the videos of that crazy Mary Poppins woman singing? And they basically looked at her once on TikTok and were like, "You're a loony." And that was the end of the plan. They're like, well, as it turns out, there was never going to be a thing. We weren't going to have a misinformation committee. We never wanted to do that to begin with.
Democrats are so full of crap.
They did it with gas stoves. Remember 2 weeks ago when we were all yelling that they wanted to ban gas stoves? And they were like, well, no, as it turned, we didn't want to get rid of the gas stoves. Yeah, that was just, I don't know where the Republicans are coming from, because they leaked it to the committee, okay, and to the press. And that's what they did here. They've started to leak from within the Biden camp that, hey, we're thinking about switching out Kamala because they want to get public feedback. And unfortunately for Kamala, so far the public feedback to her getting kicked off the ticket is... So it's going to make for a little bit of a bumpy ride between here and 2024 for your favorite vice presidential sociopath. We'll get into it. We're going to have some big you and me time when we come back right here on the high-flying, death-defying, internationally renowned, keto-approved, gluten-free Fox Across America.
Tess here. I've always had sleeping, and once I fall asleep, I couldn't stay asleep. I searched getting to sleep ASAP. So check this out. Sleep ASAP is a real product by NutriStrips. It's not a pill or drug. It's this amazing little thin strip you put right on your tongue, and it activates immediately. Tastes great too. Best night's sleep ever.
Go to mysleepasap.com and discover how you can try a full month supply free. That's mysleepasap.com.
Experience pain, burning, or tingling in your hands, legs, or feet? Are you worried your balance may lead to a seriously damaging fall? Danville Neuropathy Center has a proven, exciting treatment for peripheral neuropathy that repairs and regrows damaged nerves. It's FDA cleared, and because of its success, Medicare and most major insurances cover the treatment. Don't risk your health any longer.